I welcome here very special issue, very special theme that we usually don't touch in our radio, but we all eat and we all need fresh food. And especially under difficult circumstances, which can be like a big city, but a big city under rocket fire is even in a more difficult situation. And that's why I welcome here Paz Faigenabaum, who is a specialist in this field. Hi.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me here today.
You look like having made a very long way to get here. What is your connection to agriculture? What is your background? How did you start to deal with it?
Sure. So I'm originally born in Australia, in the West Coast in Perth, and I have a background in environmental science and design. And I basically get involved in agricultural design system called permaculture. So
which you will elaborate on for us?
Yeah, sure. So permaculture, it has a global movement and like millions of people around the world. And I have the special privilege to be in contact with the pioneers in the field. So they're my friends and mentors that they're based in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And basically it's the idea of how to design a system that everything is connected, like how we design one element will affect a different element. For example, where you put a mulberry tree, like a fruit tree, you put it in connection to close to chickens, where the chickens are giving it feed from their waste, and the fruit tree is growing. And also the fruit tree, the fruit that are dropping, they're getting rid of any of the fruit. So we design and we think about where's the sun, the wind, and all the different places in the landscape to maximize and make the most efficient production possible.
And it's very close to the land. It's very close. It's very organic. So you don't interfere much. It's not doesn't sound very artificial at all.
Yeah, what's interesting about permaculture is that we're trying to mimic nature. So being coming from actually a Jewish background, there's the design, the master designer. So they have the God's the designer, and how can we be co-creators?
I see.
So getting inspiration from nature, and then how do we design a landscape that is going to produce this same kind of this same kind of vision and system that is totally everything's connected, everything is interconnected. We're not planting something by itself. We're planting diversity, things that are helping one another, like the plants are helping one another against pests and bringing fertility and different layers. So everything is connected in a cycle of life.
Life was more peaceful in Australia, but this is not where you come from right now, right? You mentioned that you are from Jewish background, and not only from Jewish background, but from the land of Israel. How did you get there, and how did you get here from Israel?
Yes, that's a good question. So I have a Jewish heritage, and I decided to. My soul was calling me to come to Israel to both help to bring my skills that I learned in Australia. I wanted to bring it close to the community of Jerusalem, to live close to the land, but also bring food to people. And I built a program in Israel that is weaving Jewish farming, Jewish agricultural farming with the principles of the Torah.
Mm-hmm. Principles of the Torah.
Together with the Australian permaculture system. So I create a special course, and we have...
So it sounded organic, but it's very different from the green politics, which like to exclude people from the process. Now you include both the plants and the animals and the people. That's even more wholesome. So how does the Torah get into this flow?
So I see the intersection of the two that we have. We have in the Jewish agricultural farming every 7 years. We have the Sabbath. Well, we have the Shabbat, which is,
Yes.
Every 7 days we rest on the seventh day. We don't work, and we become in harmony, and we go to synagogue and whatnot. So in the land we have every seventh year we rest. We leave the land to be completely harmonizing and back to its natural cycles. And it's also an opportunity that the farmers are releasing and reconnecting their faith to that things are going to be food is going to be provided for. And I'm teaching this in the course as an experiential somatic way. So how you experience releasing, surrendering, having faith, trust in the body, and as well as what are the skills that you need to be a co-creator in the landscape. So for 6 years, we can prepare the land that it's regenerative agriculture. So it's a system that in the 7th year, it keeps on providing. So we don't need to plant. We don't need to add fertility. It will keep on producing. So this is called perennial, which is multi-years, food forest. So based on the architecture of a forest, I design a forest of food production. And I helped establish the first one in Jerusalem city, maybe 7-8 years ago. And now since have created another two, where from the outside of Jerusalem, going into the middle. And a beautiful concept about it is that we try to put it in community spaces that there will be a lot of produce and a lot of food. And the idea is that there's equal share, equal distribution. It's not about money. It's about providing and giving and sharing the love.
And it has a very special meaning now that people are under attack, and you are not a volunteer tourist in Budapest, unfortunately, although we would have welcomed you like that too.
Yeah, so unfortunately we're in crisis in Israel at the moment with one of the worst attacks that we've had since the establishment of Israel in 1948, which has been really horrific. And it was the holiday of Sukkot, Simchat Torah. We were in Egypt, in Sinai, with some friends, and it was unfortunately some Israeli tourists were murdered in Egypt. So we didn't feel safe, and we get the first flight, which came to Budapest, and thankfully we have been cared for by the wider community here, and also someone very kind, Simon from the Evangelical Church, who has hosted us, which we've been very appreciative of, and also the Jewish community helping us. So I'm here on these circumstances, and I'm trying to use my skills of what I have in the meantime to build and design a food security project that I can help people in need in Jerusalem and in the wider Israel.
So you can continue your work from here when you are on a forced holiday right now?
I wouldn't call it a holiday, but
of course.
It's more, I could say that survival right now, and just getting by. I came just with my toothbrush and my bathers here, so getting lent a laptop and getting lent different things. Luckily, I have a lot of people on the ground and resources, that I'm on the phone a lot with the laptop, designing and working and trying to put the theoretical steps. Israel is a very practical place. So quite often you need to be really on the ground, because there's a lot happening on the ground right now. Like, a lot of the country is volunteering. A lot of the country is giving and helping and supporting from inside. The soldiers are on the borders.
I could say the whole Israel. That's what I heard, that everybody is doing something.
Everyone is doing something. Everything is upside down, and everyone is trying to help and to be unified and helping in their best capacity. So I can share a little bit about the project food security initiative that I'm
Which
working
is
on.
called FIG. It's a very nice name, that food integration.
I will take a step back. So I
Okay.
have an organization called FIG, which is Food Integrated Gardens, which is permaculture, design, consultancy, and education.
Mm-hmm.
So I do both non-for-profit work where we help the community to teaching about how to grow food and whatnot. And then also I design farms and design permaculture systems for private clients. So
That is all within Israel.
actually, I work internationally, but I work in Australia, I work in the US, I work in Europe where I have work. So I'm not limited to, but my main focus is Israel and Jerusalem, and this is my home base. And we have actually a farm on church land in Jerusalem, which is the biggest green space in Jerusalem, of 15 acres of land that we've been building for the last 6-7 years, where we shepherd goats and donkeys, and we have hundreds of olive trees. And I am the head of the agriculture, so we build a big food forest, and we do education for youth at risk, people in need, and also I am giving education for people that come to Israel and show how to grow food and how to be resilient with the land, how to be strong and connected to the spirit, to the body of the land.
Yeah. But when you thought about helping people in need, did you have also war on your mind?
Sorry, can you?
When you were trying to provide for people in need, that was the idea. Did you think about the times when people would be in need because of war?
So initially, I'm involved in permaculture and growing food. In general, the general idea is about how to be resilient, how to be self-sufficient, how to take care of yourself and your community, to provide, something that is in general going to be empowering. And I think because of the context of Israel, I wouldn't say that the primary on my mind is, okay, we're going into war. It's more, okay, I have these skills, and I know that, it may be unfortunately part of the one of the problems of being in a vulnerable place or volatile place. But I do think food security is important, and that it has been part of one of my goals, but it's and now it's more important than ever. So seeing that the food can be as close to the people, as close to the cities as possible, is important. Right now, where the main food bowl, the main agricultural zone, is getting hit by rockets near Gaza. This is where most of our produce is coming from. A lot of the farmers, a lot of the foreign workers have left. A lot of the farmers' produce is going to waste. Many volunteers coming, but it's hard to keep up with the operations and the productions. There's so much to take care of. And the idea of permaculture...
They still have to eat.
People still need to eat, and it's... I'm thinking already, it's good that people are volunteering and helping it's amazing to pick the food and whatnot. But I'm taking a step ahead of how to bring the seeds of survival right now directly into the home.
I see.
And there's a project, something called microgreens, a way of producing food in the quickest possible way. Within 7 days, you have small seedlings of greens, of peas and broccoli, sunflowers. It's very highly nutritious. It's 40 times more nutritious than normal vegetables. And you have a very quick cycle. And it's very simple to both set up a small kit as well as to teach. So the idea that I had was to build these kits. For example, you have big trays, a bag of soil, and one, a bag of seeds of different varieties. And you get multiple trays. The family will get a kit. and they can set it up in the balcony, on the rooftop, in a little bit of sun, and they can have these cycles of nutritious greens, for the next month or two, that will supplement. If the war escalates even more, we could be in food crisis. And right now the food prices are really high for vegetables, and I think that it could easily be that there could be shortage of different vegetables. And how do we empower the families in need, and also people that want to, it's not only about providing food, it's also about providing mental health and nurturing. So when you're holding the seeds and when you're putting your hands in the earth, you're taking your mind off watching the television. We're on the phones all the time, watching for where the rockets, what's going on every day, maybe a few hours, to step away from this and to get a sort of sense of peace, to breathe, to see that you're doing something that's nourishing and nurturing, and it's also good for your family, to providing food for the family.
So you can watch it growing, and it's very healthy for the mind, not only for the body.
Yes, it's it's nothing like picking your own greens and
right.
Yes, in the home. So this is the first immediate project, and where we have identified families in need inside Jerusalem City, where we're working. We have partners on the ground with Jerusalem Green Fund and community centers where we're setting up. We will set up these facilities. We need to fundraise to be able to create such a project. So we're looking for supporters in this sense. And
how does it work when you have a project on mind and you have volunteers, probably, right? You work with volunteers right now, and then you want to make it grow. So you need sponsors, someone to give money. How do you put all this project together?
So we're working very quickly around the clock. So I would say that I've spearheading the initiative, and I build a small team first, the inner circle, it's very connected and very focused, and we have our different roles. And then the next, I've also have a WhatsApp group where different people have been advertising who would like to come and help. So we have volunteers that would want to come to help to assemble the kits, or help to volunteer to fundraise, or help to organize logistics and operations. So this is the step of creating the team and building and developing the project. And at the moment, a lot of people are unemployed. So the fathers or the men are being soldiers, so they're not working either. So it's sort of how do we, we're relying on external funding so we can provide for these people. So I have set up a website. It's www.food FOOD in gardens gardens GARDENS.com, and you have a donate button at the bottom. I'm sorry, I haven't had the time to upload the project on the website, but it will be uploaded soon. But this gives the opportunity to, each donation is helping to create a kit for a family for, say, the next month, where they can still use all the equipment. They'll just have to source more seeds after the month. And we will try to do a pilot project first. So, say to 100 families, try to provide the kits and get feedback. And then the idea is to scale up the project to other cities and other communities in Israel in need. So we want to replicate the model and try to provide food security and community resilience. And part of it will be educating and teaching people how to set up the kit, how to grow it at home. And this is the first stage of an immediate food crisis response.
Yeah.
Secondary to this, I was talking about the food forest, that we have the farm and we have other community food forest projects set up in Jerusalem. So
when you have access to the farm, to the field.
It's okay. So I'll explain a little bit about how it's operating in Israel. It's a little bit complicated. basically different zones, regions in Israel. They get there's three colored lights. You have green light, yellow light, and red light. So every 2 days, it's updated where the red alerts, where the rockets are falling. If it's red, then it's like you're in the bomb shelter.
Yeah.
If it's yellow, it's at risk and you shouldn't be outside. You need to be close to the shelter. And I'm talking specifically about being outside, or as farmers, people working outside, we need to know this. And the green, it's like it's safe for now, but it could change in 2 days. So everything is moving quite fast. So
which is already not easy mentally, right?
It's not easy. And, I have, for example, I've set up a food security course. Okay. So this food security course will be 9 workshops, full days over 3 weeks, where I'll be teaching how to grow food in the food forest, how to set up the microgreens, how to make your own medicine from herbs, how to forage the plants from the wild for eating, how to grow in greenhouses, how to propagate, how to make your own fermentation. So fermentation is really important right now, because if we get a lot of cabbages, how they can stay, maybe there's too much fresh, so we can make barrels of sauerkraut and store it for a few months. So it's, all these skills are very much empowering the community. So I have set up this course some months ago. And now I need to find locations that it's next to bomb shelters in the community gardens. Or if it's green light, we can go to the farm, but we know only for like 2 days we can be there, and it might change, So it's everything is unpredictable.
Yes.
But we try to be resourceful and adapt. And, luckily we are strong and we have this ability to adapt. And I feel like, that we are only getting stronger in this sense, and helping one another, and to be creative, and to empower one another to keep alive, and how to do this. So
that sounds really amazing, and how it makes you resilient as people. That's really interesting to hear. Do you plan to get back to Israel, or is better if you just stay put in Budapest?
I can give you the short answer. I've been trying to get back for 3 weeks. My friend, during this whole emergency situation, was very confusing, and I asked my friend to bring my laptop, which was a very complicated situation, and she flew my laptop to Athens and to London. It was sent from London. I wasn't thinking so much because I needed it for work, and it was sent from London to Budapest, and it got stuck in the customs. So it's been stuck in customs for 3 weeks, and I'm waiting for them to release it. So it's the main reason why I'm not back. Otherwise, I would be back on the ground. But I'm doing whatever I can, and I'm grateful for being here. And I know that it's all from above, that I'm meant to be here right now, and I'll arrive in good timing. I didn't share about the final project.
Yeah.
So, firstly, I talked about the food security education project. So this is something people are able to sponsor a student that they can, come to attend the course, and they can go back to their communities and teach as well the resources and skills they learn. But also the next part of the food security and resilience, one is getting the microgreens kits at home. But the next step is how to bring more vegetables into the community gardens. So it's to expand our existing food forest. So the food forest I'm trying to create a line of forest, a corridor of food from the edge of Jerusalem into the heart of Jerusalem. So I already have different spaces set up, already growing food, a lot of fruit trees, but we can bring in a lot more vegetables, but we need to, again, source funding to bring compost, to bring more irrigation, to bring the seeds, and we get the volunteers, and we develop. So we're in you could say we need to stay close to the land, close to our hearts in the inner landscape, and stay grounded. And this is a very practical response, and we're grateful for any support that we can get in this regards.
In any case, we are happy to have the opportunity to have you here at the radio and to share it with our audience. But of course, we wish you to follow the plan from above as it comes. So we wish you a safe return and to be flourishing in your business.
Thank you, and we hope to transform the swords into plowshares, so we can, instead of fighting, that we can just cultivate the land and be in peace. This would be the dream and the goal, and I'm grateful. Thank you for your support. And if you want to get updates, you can follow me on Instagram on Paz Fig, PAZFIG. And thank you so much for having me here today.
Thank you. I was talking to Paz Faigenabaum. Thank you for being here.